because there's one of the Steph's sister's best pals when she was at university. She was doing sport related thing, and she'd like put a message out on like social media. She's like, "Is e-sport a real sport?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a real sport." It's not. You're not like a footballer. You're physically running up and down a pitch, but you are physically, you
Yeah.
know, your keyboard, your mouse, you're physically having to like use your hands,
Yeah,
but also you're engaging your brain as well. You're constantly working. You have got to be on the top of your game.
Yeah, in the same way
You
as
are
people consider darts and snooker a sport.
exactly. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're standing there throwing it up. But my God, you will have had to have trained and trained and
exactly.
trained and trained. It's a sport isn't defined by like how much money you can earn, or if you're having to physically run
Cardiovascular
around.
skills.
Yeah, oh no, fucking it's a sport is anything that you
It's anything that
have to
requires like a
basically
certain amount of
excel.
skill.
Exactly. Yeah, and so just yeah.
Sports.
Well, welcome to my TED talk.
Yeah, boy. We're gonna fill this void because talk about Spider-Man PS1. There isn't a lot to talk about. We will try.
We'll try.
Because
We'll try. It's one of them games. It's one of them things though. It's like it is actually a really good game, but there is not a lot to talk about it, unfortunately.
No, yeah. I did play it.
I watched you
yesterday.
I watched you yesterday whilst I was working. Mm-hmm.
It's still fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
It looks crap now. It looks it's very dated.
So I will argue a little bit.
Okay.
I think the levels look okay.
Level design's not too bad.
Characters
it's quite
that look good.
Yeah. The
Black Cat. See when I saw Black Cat,
she's frightening.
So my that is nightmare fuel.
And yet, Spider-Man it looks good because he's a main character.
Venom looks amazing.
And Daredevil looked good. Forgot Daredevil was in it. Another one popped in, I'm sure. Human Torch, he looked a bit silly, but
it was just the guy in the fire, wasn't he?
Yeah, you can't really. They didn't do fire effects good in the
no, it was just a walking What's-it, wasn't he?
Yeah, bless him. Yeah. And that was as far as I got. Venom looked good. Scorpion looked a bit naff.
I thought he looked okay.
He looked
because
okay.
there's been versions of him where he has looked horrendous. For a first 3D polygon go of him, I think he did.
Rhino looked fine, except for his face, because he had just big, massive teeth that covered the whole thing like this, and he didn't move. That was a bit silly. That was a bit daft. But the actual Rhino design and the suit looked all right. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I can imagine anyone of this generation will look at it and go, "Ooh, what's this? This isn't Spider-Man. Where's the PS4 Spider-Man?"
But again, we always go back to it.
It's got 20 years on the gaming.
That era of gaming, at that time, that was phenomenal. And that is literally where technology could put us at that point. So, as much as it looks naff now, I still appreciate it.
Yeah, and this was before the big superhero craze that we got. Around 6 years later, was it Iron Man? 6 years later, 2006. And this was
2000. This was 2000.
So just before the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Because this is obviously based off the cartoon, the Amazing.
I was going to say this is coming off the end of the cartoon, wasn't it?
The theme tune is basically very similar, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I want to say it was the same voice actors.
Top 3 cartoon. That's what I was actually going to ask you at one point, actually, if it was the same voice actors.
I will.
But definitely Spider-Man cartoon, top 3.
Top 5
phenomenal. To 3 of the best cartoon intros ever.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
I want to say I like the simplicity of the Batman animated series, which was just cool.
Thundercats is number one for me.
Oh, so I wasn't a Thundercats boy. So
you missed Thundercats, that's it.
Spider-Man.
But I do want to preface the whole of this conversation with like, I want to play this game with Flynn
Okay.
because I think Flynn will absolutely love this game.
Yeah, because it's at the end of the day, it's still Spider-Man, and it's a very good Spider-Man game. I bet you if you didn't count the two Spider-Man games that have come out on PS4 and PS5, whatever, this has to be a contender for the best Spider-Man game.
Oh no, it is 100%. This is the best Spider-Man game. And in fact, to be honest, compare it to Spider-Man on the PS4. The only major thing on the PS4 Spider-Man is the fact that it looks phenomenal. But as an actual game, it's like there's no meat on it. It's all bone, really, isn't it? Most of the game is side missions.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't mind as long as it's not repetitive side missions. Fallout 4 is a prime example of repetitive side missions. Where go here, pick this up. Well done. Go to this settlement, clear it. Or go to this settlement.
But you could have taken 70% of them side missions out and put more story in.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, when I was playing Miles Morales and you were like, oh, you'll have that done in like 4 hours. It's the same principle.
Miles Morales is not good.
See, I think it visually looks better. I think it looks nicer.
Well, it has to look nicer. It was a PS5 game, wasn't it?
Well, it was a PS4 game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think both of them games suffer the same thing. That there's not a lot of meat in them games, whereas this game is pure meat.
Yeah.
Because there's no.
It's just a story.
It is the story. That is it. You go through the story. You've not got bits and bobs and extras to do. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas the newer Spider-Man games, it's mostly, I would say, it's probably a 60-40 split. 40% story, 60% side missions. So in terms of that, I would ultimately say that this is the better game.
Ooh.
In terms of gaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would respectfully disagree, but I still like this game. I just really like. It's better than the Miles Morales game. I just think the Miles Morales game is a glorified demo, but the actual Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man, whatever the actual name of the game is actually a phenomenal game. I really loved it. But it was because I don't really want to talk about it properly. But it was the swinging around the cities and stuff just felt amazing in that. It was so fluid. And you can just spend so much time just swinging about.
It only took him 20 years.
Yeah, because the swinging in this one is not great. It's very basic. No. You press R2 and he'll swing in a straight line until he hits a building.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
But it's not like a wee little lock-on mechanic, because if you're swinging it and you just by the side of the building, it will curve you. To like a
it's got its dedicated guidance system. Like if you're aiming at something it knows is a block that he will stick to, he will swing. But if the game knows there's nothing there, they'll just say, "Nah, you're not swinging, bro." Spider-Man will do that. It's not the same voice actor.
Is it not?
No, but he did do a few Spider-Man things after this Spider-Man game. But this was whoever the actor is. It wasn't his. It was his first. It was his first go at Spider-Man.
I mean, to be honest, like there's probably 1 or 2 instances, but most of the voice acting I thought was pretty good for PS1.
It's good, yeah. It was late stage PS1, really, wasn't it? 2000. PS2 came out the year later, I think, 2001. So it should be better than most, which it is, to be fair.
It is, yeah.
There
are a few instances where it sounds like it's been recorded in a tin room.
Yeah, like
I think that's Punisher though. There's Punisher. I'm sure it was because he's in it, isn't he? I'm sure it's him where the sound is a bit guff.
Rhino wasn't great. I can't remember. J. Jonah Jameson was still quite good.
I kind of thought Doc Ock was a wee bit janky, a little bit. He sounded a wee bit.
Yeah, he could have been, yeah.
Yeah, but it's given him that whole German sort of accenty sort of thing. which is what off the cartoon, and I don't think it kind of translated well whilst being recorded. But for the most part, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
Like the basic, there isn't really much you can do as Spider-Man. You've got a dedicated triangle button for web.
Your webs, yeah.
So you hold triangle, he'll just splooge web until he covers someone in it. If you press it, he'll do like a little pew, which it does nothing. There's no point doing it. And then the way to do, which took me a while to figure out yesterday, the way to do the other web moves is you press a direction and then press triangle. So if you press,
it's like left, down, right.
So press up triangle, it does like a little ball thing, like a little Kamehameha ball, whatever.
The web Hadouken.
Yeah, which is actually it's actually a really good move. It's really strong.
Yeah, but you need that to like for switches and all that, don't you?
Yeah, and then left triangle is he covers his fists in webs to make like spider web boxing gloves, which are all right.
Which make your attacks stronger.
Yeah, and then right and triangle, he goes into like a little dome, and then he blows it up, and it's like a big AOE thing, which I remember was pretty awesome. I loved it when I was a kid. Apart from that, you can aim. You've got like you can do the little crosshair thing and aim at things. It's not great. It's also inverted, which is completely incorrect. We're not discussing that right now.
Because the superior race use inverted game controls.
It's absolutely not the superior race.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. It doesn't make any sense. Right, I wasn't gonna do fat facts today. I wasn't gonna do fat facts.
Are there actually many fat facts about
this?
Well,
that was my sort of thinking behind it. It's like I can't imagine there's gonna be a lot of facts. And I've been busy today. I've not been at work. I've been busy doing other things. So I haven't had the time to do my research. Not that I do my research at work, obviously. I obviously wait until I come home and then do the research. I don't need to do it. Yeah. But I just thought I'd do a quick Googs of just Spider-Man PS1 facts. There is a page with 10 facts.
Right, so, okay. So we can... Yeah.
I can do a quick brief...
10 splooges.
Right. The first one is just the engine.
Wait. Was that using the Tony?
It was made by Neversoft.
Yeah.
So Neversoft made a name for itself with the massively successful Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. When tackling the famous superhero, the team decided to stick with the same game engine because they were using the character Spider-Man also showed up.
He was in Tony Hawk's Spider-Man.
Pro Skater 2. Apocalypse, a third-person shooter on the original PlayStation starring Bruce Willis, also uses the same engine, showcasing its versatility. Never played it. But you can see it. You can see that it's Tony Hawk's engine.
You can compare the two, yeah.
The N64 version. In addition to the PlayStation, Spider-Man released on several other platforms, including the Dreamcast, Windows, and Nintendo 64. During this generation, hardware was wildly different, resulting in some major changes when porting a game to a different console. The 64 version underwent some notable adjustments in order to accommodate
the cutscenes.
The pre-rendered cutscenes were replaced with still images from the scenes and text in order to fit the game on a single card.
Yeah, there's no sound or anything.
Yeah, that's not the only instance that's had to happen on the N64. Either.
No, well, that's the thing, is because obviously your disc has way more space.
You can just carry it all, can't it?
Yeah.
The voice talent. Several notable roles were cast because of their prior experience within the Marvel Universe. The lead actor, Reno Romano, just as we were talking about before, played the iconic superhero in Spider-Man Unlimited, an animated series that aired for one season in 1999. So he did play him once before.
There you go.
He would go on to play the role in other series and games for a short while afterwards. Jennifer Hale voiced Black Cat, who did a lot of Metal Gear Solid stuff in the animated series from the mid-90s. Oh, she's also Black Cat in the animated series. And Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. also reprised his role as Dr. Octopus from the same show. So they got Doc Ock from the animated series. Fantastic Four Easter egg. The game is chock full of little Easter eggs and secrets. One of the first is found in the first level by swinging a little outside of the level's main path. By looking around, one can see the Fantastic Four's building in the distance and swing to it. Upon reaching it, Spider-Man laments their absence. The player can also collect a comic book here. I was looking for a bloody comic book in that first level and I couldn't find it. I knew there was one.
I know. I actually don't know how many there are per level.
There's quite a lot. When I had a little nosy, not that I was nosying for the comic books, but when I was looking at the cheats to get the Venom costume, it did have like a list of all the comic books, and there was loads. So
that was one of the amazing things about it, is like you just barrel and go through the level and you find the comic books and also the costumes.
It was cool.
That was always yeah. But we'll go costumes in a bit.
When a piece of media was made based on a character Stan Lee created, one could be sure to see him in the product. In the MCU and other film series based on his works, the writer also has a cameo. For the 2000 video game, Stan occasionally interjects to narrate the action. While the legend sadly passed away 2 years ago, his life's work immortalized him. So basically, he's the narrator in the game.
Yeah.
Which is really obvious.
Which everyone knew, and and if you didn't know, then smart, now. But like when I'd seen you playing it and I heard his voice and I was sitting there working, I was like, "Ooh, this hits home, doesn't it? Really, knowing the fact that he's passed away, and just hearing you, and I thought at the time of playing that when I first played, I thought it was an amazing touch to have him be the narrator.
Yeah, to think that he's now just in everything Marvel, he's in it. Bless his heart. There's a Green Goblin Easter egg. Spider-Man is filled with numerous iconic villains, but is missing a few key faces one would expect to see in a Spider-Man story. However, some of these still get lip service with secrets. The most notable of these is the Green Goblin, whose hideout can be found in the level Police Chopper Chase. Don't think I got to that one. Oh, did I? I might have.
That's the second level, isn't it?
Was it?
Hi, where you getting chased by the crane, when the rockets at you. Yeah.
Swing over to a crane with the word bomb written in graffiti to find this secret. When inside, Spider-Man comments on the pumpkins. Okay. There you go. Look for pumpkins. The sequels and spin-offs. Because of the game's success, it received one direct sequel and a couple of spin-offs. Didn't know it had spin-offs. The first of which was a Game Boy Color version of the first game. Oofed. Afterwards, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, never played it, released as a PlayStation exclusive in 2001, late in the console's life. So that was also a PS1 game. Didn't realize.
No, I do remember it, and I do thinking of wanting to play it, but I didn't have a PS1 at that time. So
I feel like it is supposed to be quite good still. Maybe not as good as the first, but it's still solid.
No, I mean, if it's the same thing with a new story, it's serviceable, so it's fine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I should have just kept reading. The critical reception was not as positive as its predecessor. The last game of this canon was Spider-Man Mysterio's Menace on the Game Boy Advance, which actually came out 1 month before Enter Electro. 3 more. Kraven the Hunter has never gotten the proper appreciation from mainstream audiences. He has a Marvel Snap, though. He's good at snaps. Perhaps due to his lack of appearances in live-action films. However, the villain still gets a shout-out in the PS1 game. In the item Hunt Training, one can find a room where the hunter hangs all his trophies and has several pictures of Spider-Man displayed. Gee. Not only is this a neat Easter egg, but it also nets the Peter Parker costume for use in the story. Great. Why could you not have dressed up as Kraven? It'd been cooler than Peter Parker.
Because Kraven doesn't have Spider-Man powers. So, I'm going to get my nerdy glasses on.
It's a video game, man. Oh no, don't gust me, bro. Number 2 to go. No cursing. The game features a password input menu for accessing cheat codes. How I got the symbiote costume yesterday. A variety of game modifiers can be unlocked by simply inputting the right combination. Some clowns might think it's funny to input dirty words into the menu, but Spider-Man will have none of this. If one tries to spell out certain expletives, the protagonist pops up and punches the word, transforming it into something more pleasant. I didn't even try that. I should have tried that.
Well, you know, so you can try it next time.
I know. And the last one, What If Mode. While Spider-Man has an incredibly short campaign...
New Game Plus.
I think so, yeah. The collectibles add replay value. One additional way to experience the story in a new light is to put the password GBHSRSPM to unlock What If mode, which enacts numerous hilarious changes throughout the levels. This wild sense of humour is expected from the developers that brought fans the unhinged Tony Hawk games.
I mean, it's not, from what I remember, it's not that.
I think it'll just change like certain characters or something.
It's cosmetic. Like I know that Mysterio has a goldfish swimming in his goblet on his head. It's a wee goldfish.
That's
spinning
real
in
life. That's not life mode. That's what really happens.
But it's stuff like that it doesn't really affect the game in any way. But it's just
No, it's just like in Fallout New Vegas, it's got the Wild Wasteland perk, and it just adds or changes little bits, and then you'll get like a little indicator that will say, "Oh, something funny's happened here," which wouldn't be there if you played it without the perk. And it just sounds like that to me. It's just, there might be a few little changes. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But it's fair dues to him adding something silly like that.
Exactly.
It does give people a reason to jump back on it, put what if cheat mode in, whatever, and then see what.
That's what it. There you go. Yeah.
And that's the end of fair. I've got the timing down now. I'm not pressing it too much.
Oh mate, I was gonna make a T-shirt out of that.
Oh, please do. I'll sell them.
Did your face like that then?
I pressed it too much. Yeah. So I enjoyed playing it. I did enjoy playing it.
I mean, watching you do that first level, like I was instantly hit with nostalgia wave straight away. Just there. So I don't remember. So I mean, I've probably played this twice, and so obviously I never had a PlayStation. One of my pals at school did, and what we did was swap PlayStation and 64 for like a couple of weeks, just thinking, and that was one of the games that he had, that and SmackDown and that sort of stuff. Yeah. So obviously, played through it, I say twice, and I always remember the first level, and it's always one of them. I was like, you've got like an earworm where you remember it's like songs that stuck in your head. Like for me, that first level is kind of like a brain worm, as it were.
Right, yeah.
But like I can always remember the first level, and climbing up and sneaking onto the roof, and then you come around, you've got the bad guy, and you can knock him off, and you go to the next bit. And I can always remember those bits. And watching you yesterday, I say you just gave me that kind of like proper nostalgia like back, and like I was getting quite excited watching you. Because in my head, like, because I tried to get it and I couldn't get it to work. So, and I was like, I need to play this because I want to play this with Flynn because I think Flynn will really enjoy this. And like watching you was like totally reinforced the fact that I think he will enjoy it. He's at that age where he doesn't care about graphics as long as it's fun.
It's a perfect sort of game because what it also has, which we haven't mentioned yet, is a difficulty called Kid Mode. Which completely... I used to play it a lot in kid mode because believe it or not, I used to be a kid once and I had this game as a kid. And on normal, it's not a very easy game. In all fairness. I know I'm just amazing at video games and I made it look easy yesterday because I'm so good. But no, it was completely because I had the symbiote suit. The symbiote suit, unlimited webbing. But it made the game way more fun. The limited weapon is not
about the game though. I loved it on your normal playthrough that you had to like you didn't have to conserve webbing.
Yeah, you can't.
But you had to be mindful of it.
Yeah, I do like that about it. But the funnest part of the game is just webbing enemies and using Spider-Man's powers. So like to me, that's probably why I always had the symbiote suit when I was a kid because it's the coolest looking suit. It gives you unlimited weapon.
Decent suits. I'm gonna have to give them a googs, but I mean, they were decent suits.
The only other one I really liked was the Spidey 2099 suit, which is really fucking cool.
Was good, wasn't it?
Cool. And he's in the new Spider-Verse film as well. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm trying to stay clear of any trailers and stuff for Spider-Verse after that last one. So.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I don't need a trailer to know I want to watch that film. So.
Oh,
Like,
it's going to be phenomenal.
yeah, it's like the only Marvel film I actually care about at the minute. I'm just bored of Marvel MCU films. Just give me Spider-Verse.
Looking, trying to get images of the suits, and all I'm getting is videos, and I don't want to watch a video. Don't want to watch videos. Spider-Man part suit. Okay, let's have a look at this. But I mean, I always remember the collecting of the comics, and also I can't remember how you unlock the suits. Was it by doing it like levels, or
I think there's different. I think you've got to like do certain achievements within the game. I think there's different ways to unlock different suits because, like it said in one of those facts about with Craven, is you're doing something in the training mode, and then if you do whatever with Craven, you unlock Peter Parker. I guarantee there's suits where collect 10 comic books, you'll unlock Blair.
There's 32 comic books to collect.
Okay. Throughout. There'll be something you get all the comic books unlock.
Right. Okay. So we've got normal Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Symbiote Spider-Man, Captain Universe, which is I always thought was a pretty cool costume. That's the cosmic Spider-Man. Spider-Man Unlimited. You've got Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, Quick Change Spidey. So it's literally just the symbiote mask with his suit on.
Nice.
Peter Parker himself.
Yeah.
And the amazing Bagman.
Bagman was fun.
That's who I always was, Bagman.
Oh, I could never be Bagman. Not when you've got the cool Spider-Man costumes. I couldn't do it.
Amazing Bagman can only hold 2 web cartridges.
He's so amazing.
I know. Peter Parker one, again, 2 web cartridges. Quick Change, 2 web cartridges. Ben Reilly, nothing special. Scarlet Spider, nothing special. Spider-Man Unlimited gives you the power to stealth. So you can press it L2 and you become invisible.
That's quite cool.
Captain Universe gives you double damage, unlimited weapon, and invincibility.
So it's pretty easy.
But you can only get that when you beat the game on hard.
Okay.
Or you cheat. 6 or 1 half a dozen. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Symbiote Spider-Man, you just finished the game.
Oh, that explains how I unlocked him then, because there's nothing to it. Finish the game, you get it.
Just finish the game, didn't you? That's it.
Yeah, that was.
And then Spider-Man 2099 gives you double damage, but you have to collect all 32 comics for that.
Okay.
So there's quite a lot of thingy. It's good how you actually unlock them by doing things.
Yeah, that's your replay value, isn't it? It's when you go onto like the costume screen, it's Spider-Man ? I don't know if you highlight it, it'll say do this.
It tells you what to do. Yeah, can't remember that.
If it does that, then I think that's quite a good thing because it gives you a reason to go. Oh, I'll do that. I'll see what's behind door number 1. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then obviously finish the game. You get symbiote suit. Yeah. I did kind of want to do the last level because I kind of remember it's like a runaway thing with Doc Ock, and you're like swinging towards the screen.
I had to watch today someone to explain the story because I couldn't fully remember it.
I couldn't.
So what is it? So Doc Ock is reformed, and he's showing off a machine, and then Spider-Man takes the machine.
Naughty Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then Brock sees him and tries to take a picture, and he smashes his camera, and he gets all bitchy, moany. And so Venom comes out. I know. But still, I was watching it actually. It was like it was cool at the same time.
It's not bad transformation.
No, it's actually not too bad. Yeah. So then Spider-Man's been blamed for the stealing of the thing, but you see Doc Ock, like the shadows of Doc Ock and some other figure, which is obviously Carnage.
Yeah, I got quite excited because like when I was a kid, I didn't even know who Carnage was.
I loved Carnage. I still love Carnage, to be honest. I don't think there's a person on this planet who doesn't love Carnage.
He's just a cool-looking character. He's so cool.
And they've never really done him justice in anything.
Not really, no. I've still not seen Venom 2, but...
Yeah, don't.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't mind the first one. The first one's fine. It's nothing special.
Yeah, the first
fine.
one was fine, but this one's not.
Okay, that's okay.
Even Woody Harrelson couldn't even.
But Woody
make
Harrelson's
Carnage
a ledge.
Yeah, as Cletus Cassidy, fine, apart from the red hair thing, but like as Carnage, just that general sort of story, yeah. They just see they got to a certain point and they just made too many symbiotes. That's what it comes down to. But anyway, so you've got that, and then you got to save J. Jonah Jameson from Scorpion. And then Daredevil comes up and says, "Did you really steal that thing?"
Yeah,
and
that seemed a bit silly.
He's like, I trust you. It's like, I can tell by your heart.
I have my superpowers, and you have yours.
You have yours.
Nice.
Which again, I love Daredevil. And I had to see him in the game. Like, was quite when I was proper like geeking out with that. I thought that was cool. And then you go and Venom finds you, and you've got to chase him. You go battle him in the sewers. And then you tell him that it's not you, and someone's stitched you up, and he's like, "Okay, we'll be teammates." And then that's as easy.
That's cool though. Teaming up with Venom is awesome.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool actually. And then Punisher tells you that then was it Punisher finds out that the base of Doc Ock and where that is, and then you've got the Punisher in the game. And he's wearing his silly little like bloody headset that you wear in a call centre.
It works for BT now.
His days of murdering are done.
Hello, this is John Punisher. I'm gonna have to put you on hold. Sorry.
Would you like our broadband? Oh, yeah, 2 seconds. So he's in it, and he tells you where to go. So you go to the place, you destroy the thing that's putting all the gas in the city, and then Carnage comes and battles with Venom, and then you beat Doc Ock, and then the two of them merge together and make fucking an abomination of a character. Like, you see when he like his face comes out the screen, and I was like, wow, I remember that much. And then you get the big chase sequence at the end. I think that's roughly.
That's basically what the game is.
Yeah. And then Captain America comes at the end after you defeat Doc Ock in a jet, in a Quinjet. And it was just like, hey, how's it going, guys? You all right? Yeah.
Sorry, I missed the fight, bro.
That's literally the end of the game. Yeah, that's what it is. And then you get a cutscene of all the bad guys in jail. And then you get a good cutscene of all the good guys playing Go Fish.
Nice.
And that is the end of the game. So...
Good game.
In terms of story, it's fine. It's a fine, serviceable story.
It sounds like it's like a Spider-Man the animated series special, where it's like let's cram in a few villains.
Let's shoehorn everyone in, which at the time was amazing because there was there's no Spider-Man games that you could have all these characters in. Do you know what I mean? The most you probably got was it Spider-Man Ultimate Carnage, where it's you and Venom have to take on Carnage on the SNES.
Yeah, is it like a brawler, like a
it's a beat 'em up. Yeah, but it's notoriously hard beat 'em up.
Oh, did we not play it for a little bit once when we had one of our retro days?
Oh, well, that one's a single player, but we probably have played. We've definitely played a Marvel one. Was it X-Men?
Oh, it might have been X-Men. Yeah, I think it
would have been X-Men. So, I mean, having all these Marvel characters in the game was quite a novelty, a bit of a treat. You know, it was nice to see that the developers put them in. Yeah. But it did kind of feel a little bit like shoehorning characters in.
It's massively just shoehorn. You know, when you look back at it now, it is just like they probably realized with something like the PS1, they had a lot more space to work with and thought, oh, we could throw Daredevil in. Oh, let's throw Punisher in. And stick Carnage in there as well. Yeah. Oh, Craven. It's just like, it's quite cool, but
I think it's that. And give it credit where it's due. It's the only game where they've got quite a lot of Marvel characters in it. Because your newer one doesn't have anyone else. Do you know what I mean? Because let's face it, most of Marvel takes place in New York. So you're bound to run into Daredevil, you're bound to run into Punisher. Do you know what I mean? So these stories you will, should run into someone.
Yeah.
Whereas anything after that and anything before that didn't really sort of like write these characters in. So as much as we're saying the shoehorning them in, they're also doing it because they're trying to be true to sort of like that Marvel story at that period. So
which is why they can do it in all.
Exactly. Yeah. Music.
What else? The music, the theme tune is amazing.
I love when you're playing and then you swing around, you climb up, and then you get to a bad guy, and then that sort of like rock.
Oh yeah. And it'll just stop.
And you defeat them, gone.
Yeah. And then you go to the next one. But it's a cool little riff. It's a cool riff.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and it helps. It sort of like heightens the little battle that you're doing because it changes the music, and you get and you get into it, sort of thing. But it's like as soon as the dead is like.
Yeah, when it's a stealthy sequence, or when you're not noticed or anything, you're just doing your own thing. It's always dead chill and dead calm. And then once it's fight time, they crack out the rock music, don't they? They love it. But like it's good, but it's nothing super memorable.
No, there isn't. There's apart from the theme and most of the background music's just there. It's
quite generic. It's what you'd expect from Neversoft all the time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cutscenes are all right. To be fair, I think I did comment on them yesterday that they're not that long, which is good. It's like you got cutscene, brief story. Spider-Man will do something, he'll swing in. Boom,
that's it, and it pushes you right into your next level, doesn't it? Something's got to happen over here. You better get over there, and off he goes, and that's it. That's your story.
Yeah.
It's not from the character models, but we've already discussed that.
Yeah, they're just a product of the time, aren't they? It's like I don't think we can be too critical of the graphics. It's what you would expect of the year 2000 on a PS1. It's very colourful and very vibrant at times.
It's very vibrant, actually.
It's a very colourful game, as you should really expect from a game that's based on an animated series, which is a very colourful series. So it's good that it's not like quite bland and quite drab to look at.
I mean, the levels are good as well.
Level design's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they did that whole gas thing to
I forgot about that.
Cover up the limitations.
Yeah,
that was pretty smart off them.
They did a Silent Hill. Silent Hill did the same thing.
That's it. Yeah, the fog. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's the easiest way to get around it, isn't it? You can't turn around and say, "Well, we can't really program this game on this, so let's just pretend this has happened to cover it up."
But they could,
and it's fine.
To be fair, they could easily have just done that. They could easily have just had, like the first level, it's on top of buildings. You can just say, we're just so high. You're so high on top of the buildings, you just can't see the floor or whatever.
I can't see the floor, but it's like, but I'm Spider-Man. I can jump off the building and land. Yeah. So no, that was a good way around it. Second level, the copter chase.
It's surprisingly awesome.
I think that's the best level in the game. I think
probably, yeah.
Like hands down, it is. But it is such a good. And seeing you playing it, I was a little bit jealous that I would be playing it, if I'm honest, because it is such a good bloody level.
Yeah,
it is good.
I completely forgot about that level, and it kind of just goes on and on. Like there was so many points I thought, it's done now. And then it'll just keep going. It's like, oh bloody hell, okay, done.
But that's the thing, though. It's like it throws you right into it, though. You've done the first level, which is essentially tutorial level, and then the next thing the fucking
escape the cops.
It's not just Chuck chasing you. They've got a fucking chopper with a bloody missiles firing everything.
And that was cool. It did the kind of like a first person thing with the aiming thing when you're climbing up the building,
and you can see the cursor.
It was very easy to avoid, but of the time it would have been quite intense and like, oh god, I've got to avoid these gunshots.
Because as a kid, though, you just think, I need to get to the top. So you're literally just like crawling up to the top, are you? You're not thinking of like swaying it. So obviously,
you've got to be giving it this.
but you've got to do that, yeah.
And to be fair to it, I feel like the game almost utilizes the wall crawling better than the new Spider-Man because it's so advanced now, and like the wall crawling is just one of Spider-Man's sort of minor abilities that no one really cares about. Despite how like amazing and stupid it is, they like don't really make proper use of it in the newer Spider-Man games. Because
I remember that there are sections in there where you actually have to like go up onto the roof and crawl on the roof to get the jump on people because if they see you, they'll shoot you. Yeah, so like I remember, I can't remember what button it is, but like you have one. I think it's one. You have one button that you
zip up,
just zip up. Yeah. So I mean, it's good that they utilize that. That's quite smart on them.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, there's obviously just like easy ways to just stick onto a wall, stick onto the roof on the newer Spider-Man games. But I don't think there's just as simple a button as just pressing R1 and you zip straight up.
Yeah.
It's a really handy thing to have in the game, and it's really fun. And it's just a good game. It's a good game.
It is a service. I think it is a serviceable game.
Yeah.
It really is a service. You can just pop it on, put it on kid mode or easy or whatever, battle some bad guys, get chased by the police helicopter, have a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? It's a game that's not meant to be taken seriously.
No, it is a perfect game for a kid. Even if you're not playing it on kid mode, it's still a good challenge for a kid. Like, I would have been minimum 9 years old playing that game. So let's say 9, 10. Maybe I was 10 when I got Spider-Man.
2015, so
yeah.
And I still played it and enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's a fun game. And if you get Flynn to play it, he will have fun because it's still Spider-Man at the end of the day. And then when he's older, you can show him the newer Spider-Man games. You build up.
It's good. He did love the new Spider-Man games. To be honest, he does love it.
So good.
All he can do is just run and jump. Though he can't do any swinging.
But it's once he gets to swinging, once he gets the knack of the swinging, that's all he needs.
Yeah, that's it.
It's such a fun game, man. Because the combat's pretty good as well. The combat's actually really good in Spider-Man. It's really fun. In this one, it's very basic. You've got a punch button and you've got a kick button.
But no one ever used the kick button. You always used the punch button because you could just do the spider webs on your hands and get stronger punches there.
Which makes sense.
It was a redundant button, but still, it was fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. The combat was fine. And I know you could do the person mode to shoot specific things and people, and they didn't have to do that, but they've done that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think the only one massive drawback was the camera. Camera was a battle in some areas.
I think it was pre-DualShock.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the games hadn't really sussed a dual analog system and maneuvering a camera with the right stick.
I think a lot of games of that era suffer with the camera as well. Yeah. Because it's one of them ones where it's like, if you're trying to turn your camera against a wall, it won't move because there's a wall there. When really, you shouldn't, like newer games, you would just go through the wall and still see. Yeah. Whereas I think at that point, they hadn't quite figured that out. Yeah. So I know that was a wee bit of drawback, but you can't really take...
No, because like
you can't really take a lot of it for that.
The game I'll always go back to, as in like the closest thing you can get to a game fairly similar to Spider-Man, the way it is Soul Reaver, which was the closest to perfecting the camera without even using the analog sticks, because that was obviously pre-DualShock, but it used L2 and R2 to turn the camera left or right.
Yeah.
So it's clunky now. But if you probably compare it to any game back then, there weren't many that actually, I think, utilized the top two buttons for turning the camera. Especially when they didn't have an analog stick because now you could easily just remaster the game. Twin sticks, turn the right one.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. We can actually talk about GoldenEye now because we played the remaster, but
we can have a quick 5-minute chat.
Chat at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think basically any PS1 game we play, I will just compare it to Soul Reaver because that is the closest for me. The closest thing to a perfect PS1 game is Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
Soul Reaver, Metal Gear Solid are the two that spring to mind for me. Spider-Man is not close to them, but it's still a very fun game in its own right. as a kid, I had a whale of a time playing this game.
Yeah, because, me too. As a teenager.
Yeah, you're getting to play as Spider-Man in your own little world, in your own little. You're Spider-Man, and that was the beauty of the game.
I'm saving the day. Yeah. No, I know.
That's the real beauty of the game. To be fair, it was one of the first instances where we got to be Spider-Man, like proper.
The 3D world Spider-Man. Yeah.
You were playing the cartoon, and that was amazing.
That was it. Yeah.
It's a bit limited now, but it's still very fun. I did actually really enjoy myself yesterday. So. But
I was jealous of you playing it, so there you go.
The question is, does it make the top 10 of the slag?
Ooh. Okay.
I'm actually going to bring it up on my Google.
Bring it up.
So it makes it
if it does, it's going to be at the bottom.
I think it will make the top 10. It's just, it's probably going to be low.
So I'm thinking...
Not in a bad way. We've just got some good games on there now.
Well, yeah, we've kind of like shot a load really early, didn't we?
I think we've sort of cemented. The top 3 are cemented for a while, I'd say.
Yes. Yeah. Right, okay, so I'm going to go because it's not a very big game, it does have replayability, it does have some collecting, and it's generally, like say, a good, fun game. I'm going to go for 720,000.
Ooh, 720,000.
Because I mean, it's a game that, again, I've in my head, I'd like to play that again at some point. And I've always had that, and I've had that for quite a long while. And it's like, now that I potentially can't, I'm looking forward to playing it with Flynn.
You just got
that kind of gives me that.
Get the ROM sorted. Get the thing sorted for it, and then it's there ready for you. And then when he says, "Dad, I want to play some Spider-Man," you go,
"It's there,
son. Right, son. I got your back, bro."
Yep.
720,000. I'm gonna be a little more critical after playing it. Still really enjoyed it. I think this is still a fair score. I'm gonna give it 6.5. 650,000. 660,000. It's a good game.
660,000.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But what I will always do with PS1, I said it before, I will compare it to a game like this especially. I will compare it to Soul Reaver, which is very similar, minus the web slinging and a bit more vampiric, soul-sucking action. And it's just a far superior game.
Right, ready?
Yes, hit me.
690,000.
69. 69, naughty man, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and Black Cat. Oh, fucking, I forgot to say to you,
oh no.
After you defeat Rhino and Black Cat's getting taken away in the ambulance, it's just like, these aren't real ambulance men.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, oh.
Nathan, that was bad guys.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I think I do react to that in the game. It is proper funny.
Chuckling away like at that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
They could have attempted to hide the fact that they weren't real paramedics. But hey ho, they tried.
I know, it was good though. That adds to it, that does.
Unfortunately, Spider-Man does not break the top 10. And that is only because we had the 3 tied games at 700,000. So
only 10,000 out.
Mortal Kombat and International Superstar Soccer are still, even though NBA Jam's there as well, but I've just gone in alphabetical order. So,
but by NBA Jam,
yeah.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because again, it's fun.
If I'd merged them together, then Spider-Man would be on the list, but
no, we're not doing that because there'll be plenty of games that are going to match.
Yeah, you're not there.
But if you think about it, if you think about the games that it's around, you'd be quite happy playing any of them.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's above Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Sorry, bro.
Do you know what? When they make a 3D version of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, I'm gonna be on the Kickstarter. I want my name.
I hate to disappoint you, bro.
God, what? No.
I don't see that game coming out anytime soon.
I'll just make it myself.
Anyway,
God,
unfortunately, we've just spent an hour talking about a game that has not even made it onto the top 10 of the slag.
But it doesn't matter because it's the discussion. It's all about memories and fun.
It's always worth discussing it. It is a good game.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Even if, like I say, we always say, even if it's not on our list or on the top 10 or whatever, if we say it's a good serviceable game, it is from two guys that have played lots of fucking games.
Yeah.
If we say it's a good game, it's a good game.
I think we need to make like a separate list of like the avoid these ones. And I think, to be honest, it's only Golden Axe that I would tell people to avoid.
Thing is, the Golden Axe thing. Golden Axe is a good game with someone. If me and you played it, it would be good.
It wouldn't.
Because we would have fun. No, but we would have fun with it.
We would entertain each other. The game would still not be good. It is a pile of guts.
I'm clutching at straws. All right, calm down. Fucking hell.
It was trash, man. It was pure trash.
It was.
Next, you're going to tell me Altered Beast is good.
I've never got past the second level, so I couldn't tell you if it's good or not.
It's not great. I remember I gave it one proper go last year at some point.
All I remember is that the kicks look really naff.
It's
like it's just like kicking a football in the shin.
I'm not gonna randomize
it.
No.
Oh, okay. Because you're gonna lay it out for me.
I think there are two big exceptions in our slag.
Okay.
There is no Super Mario, and there is no Sonic the Hedgehog. So I think we need to do one and then the other.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But we have to be very specific because there is a billion Mario games. There's a billion Sonic games.
That is very true.
So do we go with the Origins, or do you want to pick specific ones?
We'll go Super Mario Brothers, and we'll go Sonic 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week, Super Mario.
Yeah.
Week after, Sonic the Hedgehog.
There you go.
Ooh, it's about time.
2 weeks planned.
Ooh, I have to actually play Super Mario Brothers. Oh my days!
If you fucking complete it, I'll be raging because I'm 38 and I've never completed it.
I know. I can tell you now, I won't complete it because I'm not good at Mario games.
Well, you're gonna have to get a good scrub.
I am a true Sonic gamer. I'm only good at Sonic. I'm not good at Mario. But if you have not beaten Mario, you can bet your ass I'm going to do my damnedest to beat it.
I've beat Sonic. That's all I'm telling you. I've beat that. So I know
Sonic's not a very easy game to beat, though. I think people that haven't played Sonic struggle with Sonic.
There are some certain levels that are very,
Ooh, marbles.
But we'll get into that one.
Labyrinth.
I know. Ooh. Oh, I love Labyrinth. But anyway, that's another point.
Yeah. Right. Next week, Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
Ooh, nice.
Good. Right.
Cheers, bro. Get following. Get subscribing. Retro Gag Attack, baby. Oh, Jesus. I pressed it too much. Man.